Good morning, lovelies. Today we are answering the question, what is the difference between hard magic systems and soft magic systems? This came as a direct result of my last What's the Difference video, which talked about the differences between high and low fantasy, and I got a lot of comments from people saying how they thought the distinction was between hard and soft magic systems. It's not, by the way. That one is about setting. Now, I already covered this topic of magic systems at length in my writing advice video, How to Write an Amazing Magic System, which I will link in the corner. But that is a much longer writing advice video rather than one of these quick 3-minute, what's the answer to this very specific question. Now, before we get started, remember to subscribe to the channel for more videos on fantasy, science fiction, and horror through a feminist lens. Also, I've started a Discord server for my patrons over on Patreon. We can chat about books, movies, shows, writing, whatever. If you want to join the community, check out my Patreon link. It's in the description. One last announcement, my 50th video book giveaway is still going on, so if you want a bunch of free books, check out that video link also in the description. Now, real quick, just to clarify, a magic system is the general rules, vibes, aesthetic for what magic can and cannot do in a particular world. Every story that has magic has its own magic system, and these systems exist on a scale from hard to soft. Hard magic systems have very strict rules, limitations, weaknesses, and costs when using magic. It's usually treated like a science, almost always including some sort of formalized training because of all these rules. Not understanding the rules of magic can have some seriously bad consequences. Think Full Metal Alchemist and anything written by Brandon Sanderson. Now, the upside of using a hard magic system is that writers can get really detailed with it. They can also present a ton of hurdles to their characters and easily create problems with magical miscalculations. The downside is that it's very easy to write yourself into a corner. You can't just use the power of friendship in a hard magic system unless the people of that world have somehow managed to capture, quantify, and control it to turn it into a fireball. Also, most stories with this type of magic system require the audience to understand exactly how this magic system works in order to understand the story itself, which means you have to do exposition. On the other end of the spectrum, there's soft magic. This is when the rules of magic are very loose and ill-defined, if they exist at all. There are very few limitations, weaknesses, and usually no cost, all of which can change at a moment's notice depending on the magic system. This would be something like Lord of the Rings or every fairy tale ever. The rules of what Gandalf can and cannot do are never truly explained, and they're kept purposefully vague, which is a classic soft magic system move. And fairy tale witches can just place any type of curse they want on people and call it a day. Now, the upside of a soft magic system is that it lends an air of mystery, danger, and wonder to the magic and the world and its users. It's unpredictable, and it's very easy to link it to whatever theme you want for your story. The downside is that it's very easy to fall into the Deus Ex Machina or a wizard did it. And then, of course, we have the gray area. A lot of magic systems blend hard and soft elements into their writing, creating hybrid systems. I know that Rowling isn't very popular right now, but this is one of the most well-known examples. Harry Potter goes to school to learn spells, indicating a hard magic system. But by the end of the series, there's still a lot of magic that's left unexplained, giving us a softer edge. And Rowling keeps it purposefully vague through the course of the entire series so that with each book, she can add whatever spells she needs in order to keep the story moving in a particular direction. The Witcher series is completely bonkers. They use raw magic drawn from nature and a wide range of incantations and magical items, but they're not always consistent. And to cast the same spell twice might take a lot of energy in one scene, and then in the next scene it's almost effortless, which could just be bad writing, or it could be the sorcerer improving and growing more powerful, or it could just be magic being a bitch. Sometimes you get multiple magic systems in the same story. Game of Thrones has at least 5. The Dragons and Targaryens, Bran's green seer abilities, the White Walkers, Melisandre's fire and shadow stuff, and the Faceless Men. Each has its own set of rules and abilities. But my personal favorite is, of course, Avatar: The Last Airbender. It has 2 magic systems, one hard, one soft. The bending is the hard magic system. It's pretty strict. Each bender has only 1 of 4 elements. You need a lot of training to master it. And while you can get creative with how you use it, it, which is a hallmark of hard magic systems, there's only so far you can go. It has limitations. Meanwhile, the Avatar gets to break all the rules with his soft magic system, getting all 4 elements, the Avatar state, and the ability to duck in and out of the spirit world. The spirits each individually have their own powers that broadly fall under the umbrella of nature and keeping the balance of the world, but sometimes you just get face snatchers. And Aang and Roku basically travel back in time in season 3, but it makes sense. We were never told they couldn't. Basically, soft magic systems let you have more fun, but it can be difficult to convincingly write them without your readers going, what the fuck? Hard magic systems can be more complicated, but they offer more structure for the rest of your world building. And if you can't choose between the two, you don't have to. You can just blend them together. Tell me which type of system you prefer in the comments. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you can, check out my Patreon page and join the community on Discord. I'll see you next time. Bye, lovelies!